Welcome to the Tuesday evening concert that is part of the Manuka Dulcimer Festival. My name is Lori Nance. I'm the program director here at Manuka Retreat and Conference Center in lovely and beautiful Corbett, Oregon. We welcome you to this concert where you get to hear from Aubrey Atwater and Joellen Lapidus, two fabulous dulcimer players. Enjoy the concert. Show some love in the tip jars. You'll find the links to their tip jars in the description below the video. Enjoy and make some beautiful music.
The world is old tonight, the world is old. The stars around the full do show their light, do show their light. And so they did, and so 1,000 years ago. And so the world is still tonight, the world is still. The snow on vale and hill like wool lies white, like wool lies white. And so it did, and so 1,000 years ago. And so well, hello everybody. Wonderful to be here with you for the Manuka Dulcimer Gathering. I am pre-recording this from my home in Warren, Rhode Island, and I'm gonna play a series of songs with some different technique and features on the dulcimer. That was played old-fashioned style with the noter and the pick in a 3-string configuration with a double string, and I was in E Dorian, E-B-A. That was a Ritchie family song, a Gene Ritchie song called The World is Old Tonight. All right, grabbing another dulcimer. I'll move back a little bit so you can see me a little bit better. And I'll play another Ritchie family song called The May Day Carol. It seems like the perfect time of year to do that. And now I am in CGCC. I have 4 equally distant strings. I'm going to play a bit in chord melody style. So that was kind of a chord melody style with some nice lyrical strumming, kind of strum the way you're singing those syllables. I am now going to tune my two melody strings, or my first and my second strings, up to D sharp. And I'm tuning into what I call a Phrygian tuning, but I'm not really in that mode. I'm in more standard Aeolian type minor mode. And I know that partly because I play the 6.5 fret. And these are all the fun things we talk about sometimes in the workshops. This is a song I wrote years ago with the image of a woman trying to carve out creative time in the midst of all her family and domestic responsibilities and obligations. Called She Sits at Her Loom and She Weaves. I'm going to move back a little bit more so you can see me. In the quiet of the cellar, in the farthest of rooms, she sits at her loom and she weaves. The mold and the laundry, they mingle a scent as she sits at her loom and she weaves. Above and around, the family is stirring. She hears footsteps and voices as she weaves. The cotton, the linen, the wool and the silk, the feel to her fingers as she weaves. Blue, red, green and brown, deep lavender and yellow, the look to her eyes as she weaves. The littlest is crying, the others are fighting. She hopes they can manage as she weaves. Big pot on the stove needs the burner turned low. The children need rides and she weaves. She winds up the warp and covers the loom, shuts the door, turns around and she leaves. As she climbs up the stairs, she thinks wool, she thinks color. She can't wait to come back to weave. In the quiet of the cellar, in the farthest of rooms, that's where you might find her as she sits at her loom and she weaves. So some finger picking, experimenting with different tunings. There's all kinds of technique, all kinds of things to discuss with each one of these songs. And I do tune a lot. I play in about 20 tunings. And my strings don't like me for it. I break strings a lot. I could feel one of them slipping a little bit in that song too. Let's do an English song, another beautiful, springy, traditional song, an English folk song. And right now I'm tuning to reverse Ionian. I love dabbling in all kinds of different tunings. Reverse tunings are fascinating, but because you're essentially flipping those drones, the bass and the middle, and reconfiguring your tuning in such a way that you can jump about half an octave. That's a real nutshell synopsis of the concept behind the reverse tunings I play in. And by jumping an octave, sometimes we get in a better key for singing. And meanwhile, we can play in some new and beautiful ways. So here goes, A Country Life. My dulcimers were all made by George Haggerty, and he lives in Vermont. You can see I've had this one for many years, about 27, 28 years, and I've played it a lot. And George always wants to get it from me and refurbish it a little bit, but I'm rarely ever willing to give it up for very long. Now, so I'm playing 3 different dulcimers that George made. And this one I recently strung up with baritone type gauge strings, and I play one Joni Mitchell song on it. I have this tuned to F, F, F. How do you like that? And one of the blessings in the pandemic, a silver lining you could say, is that I've had a different kind of time, and I've developed new workshops and learned some really hard songs. A Case of You is one of Joni Mitchell's great masterpieces, and pretty tricky song to learn. Just before our love got lost to say, I am as constant as a northern star, and I said, constantly in the darkness, where's that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar. On the back of a cartoon coaster, in the blue TV screen light, I drew a map of Canada, oh Canada. Your face sketched on it twice. Oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. Oh, I am a lonely painter. I live in a box of paints. I'm frightened by the devil, and I'm drawn to those ones that ain't afraid. I remember that time you told me, you said love is touching the souls. Well, surely you touch mine, 'cause part of you pours out of me in these lines from time to time. Oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. I met a woman, she had a mouth like yours. She knew your life, she knew your devils and your deeds, and she said, go to him, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed. Oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter, bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I'd still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I didn't want to say it before I sang that, but that is one of the hardest songs I've ever learned. It took me weeks to learn that song, and hopefully it doesn't seem that way, but it was a fascinating, fascinating foray into the life and work of Joni Mitchell. Now, I have one more thing to do with you before I run out of my time slot. I'm going to move this, and as it turns out, I have my tap shoes on because I am a freestyle clogger, and I'm just going to do a little bit of clogging for you. I always like to finish up my concert programs with dancing or do dancing throughout. And recently I taught dancing on Zoom, and it was very successful. I taught flat foot clogging, which is what I do. I'm a freestyle flat foot clogger. So feel free to check me out in my programs. I'm doing a lot of virtual work right now so that my reach is all over the world. And thanks to the Manuka Dulcimer Gathering folks for inviting me to be part of this event. It is my pleasure. Stay in touch. Find me at atwaterdonnelly.com or Aubrey Atwater on Facebook, and get my contact information. Email me. I love hearing from people. So here's a little bit of the dancing. tell people, try this one. Try this at home. That's the wheel. Enjoy. Thank you, everybody.
Hi everybody, Joellen Lapidus here in sunny Southern California. First tune I'm going to play is an old favorite of mine, Kevin's Coma. I had a friend who was in a coma for 3 months. I went and visited her in the hospital every day, and this song evolved over time, and then my friend woke up from the coma. So the power of music, huh? So sometimes you hear a song and you say to yourself, my God, I gotta put this on the dulcimer. So that's what happened to me with this next song. It's called I Just See You by an extraordinary singer-songwriter from California. Not only is she extraordinary storyteller, but she's prolific. She just writes a lot of great songs. Anyway, her name is Tracy Newman. This song is called I Just See You. There's a mirror on the bookcase in the hallway by the stairs. She always steals she walks by. She stops to clean her glasses, shakes her head and heaves a sigh. She can't believe the lines around her eyes. Well, her husband's in the den, but he can hear her. He comes out and steps between her and the mirror, saying, let me be your looking glass. Look at me when you walk past. You see yourself the way that I do. I don't see young, I don't see old, I just see you. He takes a walk out to the driveway with a bucket and a sponge. He's finally gonna wash her Cherokee. He takes his shirt off as he passes the window on the driver's side and sees a belly where a six-pack used to be. Well, he laughs, but she knows how it upsets him. She comes out and steps between him and his reflection, saying, let me be your looking glass. Look at me when you walk past and see yourself the way that I do. I don't see young, I don't see old, I just see you. On days in the mirror doesn't love you. Remember, I do. Let me be your looking glass. Look at me when you walk past and see yourself the way that I do. I don't see young, I don't see old, I just see you. I don't see young, I don't see old, I just see you. So I'm now going to play a tune on a bass dulcimer. This is a McSpadden bass dulcimer made in Arkansas. I get a real kick out of the fact that the top is redwood, California redwood. So I have to go to Arkansas to get California redwood dulcimer. Anyway, I'm going to play a tune called Dod Mountain Waltz, which was written by Judy Klinkhammer, who is just an amazing woman, no longer with us, but very well loved by all the dulcimer players. Anyway, this is the mountain she lived on, Dod Mountain, and I'm going to dedicate this song to her and everybody in Arkansas, who I haven't seen for a couple of years. This song is called The Pelican Lullaby. I wrote it 3 o'clock in the morning when I had insomnia, which I often have. I really wrote it to help me get to sleep. I could have called it The Insomnia Lullaby, but my last CD is called Dulcimer Music for the Pelican Ballet, so I thought, okay, I'll call it The Pelican Lullaby. So you can think about counting pelicans instead of counting sheep if you have insomnia, and play this song to help you get to sleep. Here we go. Close your eyes, take the world off your shoulders, slip off your socks and your shoes, take your feet off the floor, be suspended in the silence and the peacefulness of sleep. Let all sorrows wait for tomorrow. Let the unrest in the world be set free. Fold your hands into a pillow. Let your thoughts fly away on the breeze. Let your thoughts fly far out over the ocean. Let them spin and wrap themselves up in the wind. Clear your mind of all commotion. Sink gently down to sleep. Close your eyes, take the world off your shoulders, slip off your socks and your shoes, take your feet off the floor, be suspended in the silence and the peacefulness of sleep. So this is my last song. I wrote it at the beginning of the pandemic, February, March. I remember Friday the 13th, March 13th in LA. Everything closed down. We were issued stay-at-home orders. And I thought, this is pretty heavy duty. I want to write a song. Anyway, I hunted around and I was surprised at the song that came out. I didn't know what to make of it. So a friend of mine heard the song. She said, well, it sounds very hopeful. And that was the last thing on my mind, hopefulness. So I called it Hopeful. But then after listening to it, it's not a calm song. It's an intense song. So I decided to call it Fiercely Hopeful. Anyway, let's all be inspired, hopefully, to be fiercely hopeful about this pandemic. Okay, see you on the other side. Here we go. Fiercely hopeful. Thank you.